Hello, my Iceland groups. My name is McKenna Jensen, and I am going to be your tour host to the wonderful country of Iceland. I'm so excited to go with you guys. Iceland is one of my all-time favorite places to visit, definitely in my top 3. You guys are going to love the landscape, the food, the people, the views. All of it is just a 10 out of 10 in this country. I just wanted to do a little video for you guys though to go over the itinerary once more and also just to give you some tips so you can get prepared for packing and just so you know what to expect for our trip. Okay, let's talk about the not fun stuff first, which is our flight from Denver to Keflavik, which is the main airport in Iceland. So most of us should be flying from Denver to Keflavik. The interesting thing about Iceland Air in Denver is there's only one flight in and out to Iceland each day. So you won't see any gates. There won't be a front counter that has an Iceland Air symbol that's like permanent. Once you go out to check your bag, once you're in the main lobby, you're gonna kind of have to do some searching. My suggestion is just ask where the Iceland Air counter is at. I've had it move before on me, within like a few months. I saw it once over in one section, and then the next time I went, it was in a completely different section. So I would just ask the airport staff where the Iceland Air check-in counter is at. Make it much easier for yourself. Just a reminder, you can only check into the Iceland Air flight and check in your bags 4 hours early is the max time. You can't do it any earlier than that. As far as the flight goes, Iceland Air does not offer any meals on their flights. They do have some to buy. It's most likely just going to be like little sandwiches. So I would suggest getting something before you get on the plane. We leave in late afternoon, and that's Denver time. You arrive in Iceland very, very early the next morning. So I would suggest bringing the food for you for that night, for that evening. That way you're all prepared for that. Another good thing to know about the Iceland airport is Iceland Air is their main hub, obviously, in Iceland. But it also means that all of their flights from the US all land within the same hour period of time in that morning. So our flight arrives at like 6:40. There are probably 10 or 15 other flights that are also getting in within 5 minutes of us and all the other flights, which makes customs not the most fun. Customs kind of makes you feel like you're being herded like cattle. You're gonna go in and be mixed with all other flights that are coming in at the exact same time, and it just really feels like it's gonna take a bit. Just go with the process, be patient, go with the flow. I know it's kind of frustrating, customs already is, so just be patient and just kind of move with the crowd. You'll get into an orderly line eventually. I will not be flying with any of my groups. I will already be in Iceland. So I will be waiting for you all in the lobby. You guys will get your bags, go through customs, and then I will be out there with a sign that says Jensen and McKay Tours. So just look for that. I'll have a bright colored sign, and come find me there. All right, now we can get to the good stuff. Now we're in Iceland. It's our first day. We do get in very, very early, so we won't be able to check into our hotel, but we will be going to our hotel to drop off all of our bags. From there, I'll give you some free time to kind of go grab some breakfast or change different clothes in case you wanted to change after your flight. And then we will group back together and we will go on a Reykjavik city walking tour. I'll take you all around some of the sites, including the beautiful famous church, as well as just some other beautiful parts of the city. We'll finish around lunchtime. Hopefully that will give us enough time before we can go check in. After lunch, we'll check into the hotel, let you guys kind of relax. I know it's kind of a long day after being on a plane all night. So you might take a little nap if you want, or you can continue exploring the city in the evening or in the afternoon, because in the evening we will be going to the Sky Lagoon, which is one of my favorite things in Iceland nowadays. I went last year, and this was a brand new attraction to Iceland, and it is amazing. It's a beautiful lagoon that just looks over the bay, and you can see Reykjavik in the distance. It's just an absolute beautiful view and the perfect way to end our first day with a fun activity that keeps you awake so you can get used to the time, but then also still doing something super, super fun. You guys will love. You'll love today. It'll be a great day. I'll get you home earlier though, so that way you can go to sleep and that way we can catch you up for the next morning. Day 2 will be our Golden Circle Day. This is one of the most popular things that tourists will come to do. We will be able to go see some beautiful geysers similar to the ones that we can see in Yellowstone. We will also get to go see your first Icelandic waterfall, Gullfoss, which is absolutely stunning to see. We will also walk through Thingvellir National Park, which is the first national park of Iceland, and we actually get to see the continental drift happen. You get to see the rifts and all of that and walk through it. And we'll also be able to go to my favorite part of the day, the Icelandic rye bread demonstration, where we will go see them make rye bread, traditional Icelandic rye bread, made in the ground, heated and cooked by geothermal water and just energy all around it. Love it. You'll get to taste it after, which is just super yummy, and it will be a perfect day. And we still get you back in the evening, enough time for you to get to bed earlier if you want to, or to go explore the city. Our third day, we will be leaving Reykjavik, the capital city, and heading towards a small little town called Vik. It's a cute little coastal town that is known for their black sand beaches, which we will visit later on in our trip. But there are so many sites between Reykjavik and Vik, and we're going to go try to hit as many as we possibly can that day. We will be able to see 2 of my all-time favorite waterfalls in Iceland, Seljalandsfoss and Skogafoss, which they're both just super unique and super beautiful, so you guys will love that. We'll also be able to go to a lava center where it's basically just a museum dedicated to the volcanoes and to lava and earthquakes that are all happening within Iceland, which has been really exciting lately because Iceland's had lots of earthquakes around a volcano that has just started to erupt, a really small one, but still lots of lava, and all the locals are really excited about it. So we'll be able to go learn about the history of volcanoes in Iceland and how it was important that the volcanoes were there on the island. We'll end in Vik that night, and hopefully, depending on the weather, we might be able to go see some northern lights that night as well. Our day 4 is another amazing day. I know I say that about every single day in Iceland, but it's just the truth. We will get to go on some walking trails through a beautiful canyon that I cannot pronounce. I've gotten pretty good at Icelandic names, but that is one. This one is one that I cannot quite pronounce, but I will for sure pronounce it for you by the time we go. We will also head up to Glacier Bay. We will be able to get up onto a boat, and the boat will take us to see some wildlife as well as get really close to some of those glaciers. We will also be able to go visit Diamond Beach, which is very close by, which is, you can see in that picture right there, the small glaciers get washed up onto the black sand beaches, and the contrast is just beautiful. It kind of depends on the time of day though, or when the tide comes in and how much ice is out there. So hopefully when we go, it'll be scattered full of little glaciers, and it just makes the beach that much more fun. Our 5th day, we will have a little earlier morning excursion to the Westman Islands. We'll take a ferry out to these small little islands off of the coast of Iceland. You are going to have some free time here. I'll show you some fun things that you can do, point out a few places, show you a few lunch spots, but the island is all very small enough that you can just kind of walk around and explore yourself. But I just wanted to let you know beforehand, so that way if you wanted to look up something in particular, you could do that before we leave. But once again, I'll give you some suggestions once we're out there. This one's a great little island. It's got all sorts of history that I'll tell you all about as well. After lunch, we'll get back on our boat, head back to mainland Iceland, and we will go to the famous black sand beaches, along with those pillars right next to the black sand beaches. And then we'll drop you back off at the hotel, let you relax for a bit, or let you wander around the city as well. I'm happy to take you to some more places around Vik. But then we will take you to a lava demonstration. I'm really excited for this one. This one's also a new attraction in Iceland, and it's just a great demonstration, and I think you guys are going to love it. And now we are to our last day in Iceland. We will be driving from Vik to Keflavik Airport, but we will make one stop along the way. We are going to stop at the Blue Lagoon, one of the most famous spots in Iceland. It's a beautiful hot spring lagoon that's just got the clearest blue water. It's absolutely gorgeous and just so nice to relax and swim for a bit. It'll be the perfect experience for you to have right before you get onto an airplane for a few hours. So that'll be the perfect way to end our trip in Iceland, just by relaxing and just taking in the views one last time. Now that we have gone over the itinerary, I wanted to go over a few tips to know before we start heading out. The first is weather in Iceland. We are going in the fall, which means usually some rain. Hopefully that's not the case. I've been before in fall time and it was absolutely gorgeous. I was able to see all sorts of northern lights. But then just last year, I had friends who went at the exact same time in October, and they had rain every single day. You never know with Iceland what you're going to get. My biggest suggestion is bring clothes that can layer, and also bring clothes that are waterproof as much as you can. A good waterproof coat is really going to be very beneficial. Waterproof shoes also could be very helpful as well. You'll want to bring hats, gloves, scarves. Honestly, just be prepared for anything with Iceland weather. Let's talk a little bit about some of the hot springs we'll be going to. We'll be going to two, the Sky Lagoon and the Blue Lagoon. Both of those lagoons will have a towel for you, so you don't necessarily need to bring and pack a towel, which is great. That's one less thing you don't have to worry about it. I would also suggest bringing a plastic bag just in case you need to put your wet clothing in there. They usually have, especially at the Blue Lagoon, little plastic bags for you to put your wet clothing into. You're really going to want that, considering right after the Blue Lagoon, we'll be going on a airplane. I would still suggest bringing one. It's really small, just to bring a little grocery bag anyway, so just bring one just to be safe in case they don't have any. Just to give you all a heads up, in Europe, they're all natural in their dressing rooms. Luckily, the Blue Lagoon is getting a little bit better. It's a lot more touristy, so there are a few changing rooms at least. Not so much in the Sky Lagoon. So I will always suggest, and I'll of course remind you about this, wear your swimsuit underneath your clothes before we go. That way you don't have to worry about it once you're there. I'll give you some more suggestions on that, and that's not to make you scared or anything. It's just giving you a word of warning, just so you know in advance, but I'll give you some more advice on that part as well. Let's talk about Northern Lights. I know this is a big reason why some people have booked this trip to Iceland. They are unpredictable. I am really hoping we're going to be able to see those Northern Lights, but as I mentioned before, I've been in the fall and I've seen them. They're beautiful, but just last year I had friends that went and it didn't go very well with their weather. So we'll try as often as we can each night to go out. The best place we'll be able to see them will be in Vik, because we'll be further away from those city lights. So if the weather permits, we will go out and try to find those Northern Lights. Our hotel, luckily, on most hotels in Iceland, if the weather is really, really good, or sometime in the middle of the night they start seeing the Northern Lights, they'll actually give rooms a call to let them know, like, hey, look out your window, turn off the lights. There's Northern Lights right outside of your window. So Icelandic people are very helpful with that as well. So I'm really going to try as hard as we can to get a glimpse of those Northern Lights, because I know that's why some people have been going, and we're going to try to find those lights. Just stay really positive. We are actually, last year was a start of some solar event that's supposed to last for the next 4 years. And it's supposed to be the best 4 years to see the Northern Lights. So keep your fingers crossed. We're going to be able to see some of those lights this trip. Next, let's talk about our transportation in Iceland. So Iceland is very much a road trip country. Everything is very spread out. There's nothing like really close to each other like in other European cities where you're able to just stay in one area and be there for a few days. Everything is very spread out in Iceland. So with that being said, we will be on our bus for a few hours every single day. I will try to get us out as much as possible, but once again, there's only so many places we can stop. You will enjoy the scenery though. It's so beautiful. Our bus will have Wi-Fi though. I am assuming it's going to be very limited, but it will at least give you some stuff. We will also have a bathroom on the bus, but we'll also be able to have stops throughout the day that will give us a restroom break. But I tell you about being in the bus for a few hours each day just so you can be prepared in case you don't like just looking out the window or talking to other people on the bus. Bring something else that can keep you occupied. Bring some books, download a few movies. I've had friends who bring coloring books or bring stuff to knit, just anything else that can keep them occupied for a few minutes. I've got a few things that you could do reading wise that gives you a little bit of Icelandic background. I'm happy to share with you guys as well, but I just wanted you to all be prepared for that. We're almost done, guys. This is my last slide. I just wanted a few last reminders for your upcoming trip. Just to remind you, lunches and dinner will be on your own. I will happily show you some of my favorite restaurants in both Vik and Reykjavik. There are plenty of them, especially if you are a fish lover. You will love so many of the restaurants in Iceland. I'll also suggest stopping at a grocery store. Even on our first day, I'll gladly point out those grocery stores. If you'd rather have a cheaper lunch, we can show you, you can grab some sandwich stuff or other small snacks. That way you don't have to worry about lunch throughout the day. Iceland does have their own currency. They use the Icelandic krona, which I would suggest also getting a conversion app on your phone because it's just going to be very, very helpful when you're looking up your souvenir prices or any food prices. It'll be nice to have that conversion app. Iceland is a cashless country. They essentially do not use any cash. They love their cards, their credit cards and debit cards. So I would suggest bringing those. American Express is not very well liked over there though, so I would suggest other credit cards. Also with your credit cards, bring your PIN number. That one threw me for a loop the first time I used my credit card in Iceland. I didn't know my credit card had a PIN number. So bring all your PIN numbers, memorize those just in case they ask for it. You don't want to be surprised and be unprepared for that. If you do feel like you need some cash though, I would suggest getting it at the airport ATM before you leave the airport. It's going to be the fastest and cheapest way for you to get Icelandic cash. Even our bus driver, who will have the whole time, and I will suggest tipping him at the end, they said it is okay to tip him in US dollars. So that'll be just fine as well, so you don't have to worry about getting that Icelandic cash. Other than that, I gave you a lot of information, guys. Hopefully this helps with packing, with getting ready. I am, of course, here for you guys. Please send me a text, give me a call. I'm happy to help with any sort of questions that you have in preparing for this trip. But until then, we will see you guys in Iceland.